The UNS Pathfinder moved quietly through deep space, far beyond any human map. Inside the ship, engineers worked, officers monitored sensors, and everyone hoped for a calm day. But calm never lasted long for Eli Ward. Eli lay on his back under a humming power conduit, trying to stop a strange vibration in the engine core. He was covered in grease again, but he didn't care. Fixing things always made sense to him. Machines told the truth. They broke, they complained, they needed help. Humans were harder. Then the alarm sounded. Red lights flashed. The deck vibrated under Eli's boots as he jumped up. He grabbed his tablet, ran to the nearest monitor, and froze. Something massive was entering real space. No jump signature, no warning. It simply appeared. On the bridge, the crew stared at the main screen. A shadow blocked the stars. Then light spread across its surface like liquid silver. A vessel the size of a floating city drifted toward them. It looked alive, shifting, glowing, bending light around itself. Unknown ship, the navigator whispered. Unbelievably large. The alien vessel slowed until it hovered only kilometers away. A beam of soft blue light reached out, touching the Pathfinder's hull like a gentle hand. "Captain," the comm officer said, "they're sending a message." "Put it on," Captain Reynolds ordered. The screen flickered. A humanoid figure appeared, tall, elegant, glowing faintly like moonlight on water. "Humans of the vessel Pathfinder," the being said, voice smooth and calm. "We are the Lemurian Concordance. We request peaceful contact." The bridge fell silent. Humanity had dreamed of aliens, feared them, imagined them. But no one expected this, beauty instead of threat. Preparations began instantly. The ship was scrubbed, polished, checked twice. Officers put on formal uniforms. Eli was dragged from engineering to stand by just in case something broke. He didn't want to be there. He wasn't good at talking. He wasn't important. He was just the mechanic who crawled inside engines and fixed leaks. When the alien delegation entered the reception hall, everyone stopped breathing. Lemurians walked like flowing light. Their eyes glowed softly. Their clothes shimmered like stars. And then she walked in. Princess Arya Solen. She looked young, his age maybe, but everything about her felt ancient and powerful. Silver light traced patterns on her skin. Her hair moved like it floated underwater. When she looked around the room, it felt like she saw everything at once. Eli stood in the back, half hidden, a smudge of engine grease on his cheek. During the tour, a human guidance drone malfunctioned. Sparks, smoke, failure. Officers panicked. The captain yelled Eli's name. He stepped forward, opened the drone, and repaired it quickly using scrap wire and instinct. The drone rose into the air again, lights steady. Princess Arya watched him closely the entire time. Her eyes glowed brighter, curious, focused, almost delighted. Then, in front of both crews, she stepped forward. The Lemurian delegation went quiet. The captain froze. Eli felt his chest tighten. Princess Arya raised her hand. She pointed directly at him. Her voice rang through the hall, clear and steady. "I choose that human." Eli's heart stopped. Every human stared. Every alien whispered. The universe, for one impossible moment, held its breath. The hall exploded into noise the moment Princess Arya pointed at Eli. Humans whispered in confusion. Lemurians stepped back in shock, their glowing eyes wide. Officers stared at him like he'd broken a sacred law. Eli felt his knees weaken. He almost dropped his toolkit. Captain Reynolds quickly stepped forward. "Your Highness, choose him for what?" Princess Arya kept her hand raised, steady as a blade of light. "For the bond of concord," she said. "He is my selection." Even the translator systems hesitated, as if unsure they heard correctly. The High Regent, Arya's father, stepped closer. His presence pushed the air down like gravity. His tall frame shone with gentle blue light, but his voice carried heavy weight. "Arya," he said softly, "you understand what your choice means." "I do, father." Eli didn't understand anything. He wasn't a diplomat. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't even wearing a clean shirt. The captain pulled him aside and whispered urgently, "Do not speak. Do not faint. Just breathe." Arya lowered her hand and looked directly at him. "He repairs without pride. He observes without judgment. He restores what others discard. Such a mind is rare." Eli blinked. Thank you." His voice cracked. Someone in the human crew winced. The Lemurian nobles murmured among themselves. Some looked annoyed, some curious. One, The tall, armored commander standing behind the regent looked furious. His silver armor glowed brighter, as if reacting to his anger. The regent lifted his hand. Silence fell instantly. "Human Eli Ward," he said, each word slow and heavy. "My daughter has invoked the ancient right of choosing a partner. It is her freedom. But for you to be accepted, you must complete the 3 trials of confluence." Eli swallowed. "Trials?" "Yes," the regent said. "Tests of mind, spirit, and resolve. Only then may you stand beside the royal heir." The armored commander stepped forward. "High Regent, this is madness. He is unprepared. He is—" Arya silenced him with a calm look. "Commander Varen, the right is mine. You know this." It was the first time Eli realized. That warrior had expected to be chosen himself. Captain Reynolds cut in. "With respect, your High Regent, Eli is essential to our ship. We can't force him into alien customs." "You cannot force him," the regent agreed. "Nor will we. The choice is his." Every eye turned to Eli. His chest felt tight. His thoughts tangled. He wasn't special. He fixed things. He kept engines running. He made sure the ship didn't explode. That was his life. But Princess Arya watched him with quiet hope, as if she already knew who he really was, someone he didn't even see in himself. He didn't answer. Not yet. The regent bowed politely to the humans. "We will depart for now. When the human decides, we will return." The Lemurians turned and left the hall with their usual graceful movement. Princess Arya was the last to walk away. Before leaving, she looked back over her shoulder, just once. Not like a princess looking at a stranger, but like someone waiting. When the doors closed behind them, the room burst into chaos again. Officers swarmed Eli. Some asked if he was insane. Others asked if he had a death wish. A few congratulated him, but all he felt was overwhelmed. Later, in the dim engine room, Eli sat alone on a crate, elbows on his knees. The soft hum of machinery steadied his heartbeat. This was where he belonged. Not in glowing halls. Not in alien politics. He touched the spot where Arya's gaze had felt warm on his skin. 3 trials. An alien princess. A chance to unite 2 civilizations. He whispered to himself, "I'm just a mechanic." But deep inside, a small voice answered, "Maybe that's exactly why she chose you." Eli barely slept that night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Princess Arya pointing at him. And every time he opened them, he wondered if the whole thing was some strange dream. But the next morning, the Lemurian shuttle arrived, silent, bright, elegant, and the decision could not wait any longer. He stepped aboard. The inside felt unreal. The walls glowed like soft moonlight. The air smelled clean, almost sweet. Every surface curved smoothly, as if grown instead of built. Compared to the Pathfinder's metal panels and bolts, this ship felt alive. Princess Arya waited for him near the center of the cabin. She wore a lighter suit, woven from threads of shifting silver light. When she smiled, Eli forgot how to breathe. "You came," she said. "I thought about running," Eli admitted. "But your shuttle doesn't have windows. Hard to jump out." She laughed softly. Even her laugh felt calm. The shuttle docked with the Lemurian flagship, the Crown of Dawn, a construct so enormous it made the Pathfinder look like a toy. As Eli stepped inside, he saw corridors of crystal, open halls floating with holographic constellations, and platforms that moved without sound. Nothing here was made with tools he recognized. Nothing here needed fixing. Or so he thought. Arya led him to a chamber filled with Lemurian engineers standing around a massive device. Blue light flickered weakly inside it, pulsing in uneven waves. The High Regent stood at the front. "Human Eli Ward," he said. "This is the lattice heart. It stabilizes our ship's quantum fields. Yesterday, it began to fail." His eyes narrowed. "It is your first trial." Eli stared. The machine was taller than a building. Alien symbols glowed across its surface. It didn't look broken. It looked mysterious, sacred. Lemurian engineers watched him like he was an intruder. "Use only the tools you brought," the regent added. "You must not open the core casing." Eli lifted his small toolkit. Compared to the lattice heart, it looked ridiculous. Commander Varen stepped forward in polished armor. "This is a waste of time. Let me repair it properly." "No," Arya said firmly. "This is Eli's trial." Eli swallowed hard. Every instinct said he wasn't ready, but he walked forward anyway. The lattice heart hummed badly, like a machine trying to breathe through a cracked pipe. He walked around it slowly, touching the surface, listening with his ear against the casing the same way he used to listen to old ship engines back home. To him, sound was language. Vibrations were emotion. Machines always told the truth. The light flickered. The hum jumped. The pattern repeated, wrong, uneven, stressed. Eli tapped the casing lightly with his knuckles. Something inside clicked back. A Lemurian engineer gasped. "Did you hear something?" "Yeah," Eli said, kneeling. "It sounds like one of the support channels isn't getting enough pressure. The machine is trying too hard to compensate." He pulled out a simple metal wedge and a bit of multi-wire. The Lemurians looked horrified. "That tool is primitive," one whispered. "That's fine," Eli said. "The problem is simple." He slid the wedge into a tiny gap and pressed. The hum smoothed out slightly. Then he used the wire to redirect a small energy leak between two channels. Something clicked sharply inside. The chamber brightened. The lattice heart glowed evenly again, its internal rhythm smooth and strong. Silence filled the room. Princess Aria's eyes shone with pride. The High Regent raised his chin. "You repaired a machine that baffled our finest minds, with scrap metal and instinct." Commander Varen looked furious. Eli wiped his hands on his pants. "Machines are machines," he said softly. "Doesn't matter how advanced they are. If they're alive in their own way, you listen to them." Arya stepped closer to him, almost too close. "This is why I chose you." Eli felt his face flush red. The High Regent lifted his hand. "The human has passed the first trial. Prepare him for the next test." Eli stared at the glowing machine he had just fixed. He wasn't sure what scared him more: the idea that he might fail the next trial, or the feeling that Princess Aria's choice might not be a mistake after all. Eli expected the second trial to involve another machine. Maybe some huge alien engine or strange glowing device he could fix with a screwdriver and luck. He was wrong. Princess Arya guided him into a round chamber shaped like a quiet amphitheater. Soft light glowed from the walls. Floating seats circled the center, where a single low table stood. Waiting there were 8 Lemurians, each wearing different colors and symbols. None looked happy. Arya whispered, "This is the trial of voices. Not strength, not skill, understanding." "That sounds worse," Eli muttered. The High Regent entered and spoke clearly. 2 Lemurian colonies have been locked in conflict for 40 years. They agree on nothing. They trust no one. Today, human, you will attempt to guide them." Eli froze. He could fix engines. He could fix circuits. But people? Talking? Diplomacy? His stomach twisted. Arya placed a steady hand on his arm. "You don't need to be clever," she said gently. "Just honest." The delegates sat down. For from the desert world Soren. For from the ocean world Nerith. Their eyes glowed in different colors, gold and deep blue, like opposing suns. At once, they began speaking. Not to Eli. Not to each other. Over each other. Soren accused Nerith of stealing trade routes. Nerith accused Soren of blocking star lanes. Then they argued about resources, traditions, territory, history, ancient insults. It sounded endless. Eli stood quietly, trying to follow. After 10 minutes, he was lost. After 20, he was drowning. Finally, he lifted both hands. "Stop." The voices died instantly. 8 pairs of glowing eyes stared at him. Eli took a breath. "I don't understand any of that." The delegates looked offended. He continued anyway. "I'm sorry. I'm just a mechanic. I don't know your laws or politics. So maybe start simple. Tell me what each of you actually wants." In normal words. Silence. Then, for the first time, a Soren delegate spoke slowly, almost embarrassed. "We need more star lane time. Our desert cannot grow enough food. We must trade." A Nerith delegate answered. "And we need crystals from Soren. Our oceans do not produce enough." Eli frowned. "So you kind of need each other?" The 8 Lemurians looked at each other. He stepped closer to the table. "Okay, forget your old deals. Let's look at it like this." He grabbed 2 glowing data spheres from the table and placed them side by side. One group grows food. One group mines crystals. Both things take time and work, right? They nodded. Eli continued. "So make a trade where the work time is equal. Not based on pride. Not on old grudges. Just fair effort." He used his tablet to sketch simple numbers. Hours worked, distance traveled, energy cost. Something even a child could understand. It took minutes, not days. By the time he finished, both sides stared at the calculation. It was fair, balanced, obvious. Why had nobody ever done this? A Soren elder spoke first. This could work. A Nerith leader nodded. It would end the argument. Eli blinked. Really? That's it. Princess Arya smiled softly. You listened. That is the rarest skill in diplomacy. The High Regent stepped forward. Human Eli Ward, you have accomplished in one sitting what our council failed to solve in 4 decades. You have passed the trial of voices. Commander Varen scowled in the shadows. Eli tried not to look at him. The delegates bowed, not to Arya, not to the regent, but to Eli. As they left, Arya leaned close, voice warm. You do not fix machines only. You fix people too. Eli felt his heart skip. He wasn't sure if he believed her. But for the first time, he started to believe. He might actually survive these trials. Eli thought the second trial had pushed him far enough. He helped stop a 40-year argument using nothing but honesty and simple math. He hoped the next trial would involve a machine, something with wires and sparks, not people yelling. But the third trial was nothing like that. Princess Arya led him down a quiet hallway. No glowing crowds. No guards. No audience. Only soft blue light guiding them forward. Eli noticed her face was different today, calm, but serious, almost sad. What's this trial about? He asked. Arya stopped in front of a circular door. It opened like petals unfolding. This is the chamber of truth, she said softly. It shows who you really are. Eli frowned. You mean like a test? No. A reflection, she corrected. Nothing can be hidden inside. Not fear. Not hope. Not pain. Not lies. She hesitated. Even I will see it. Eli's throat tightened. He suddenly wished he was facing a broken engine instead. Inside the chamber, the floor was smooth and silver. The walls shimmered like water. In the center hung a delicate crown-shaped frame of light, floating, humming gently. Arya motioned him forward. Place it on your head when you're ready. When I'm ready? Eli repeated. What if I'm never ready? Her eyes warmed. No one ever is. He stepped into the center. The crown of light lowered and touched his forehead. At once, the world disappeared. He was 8 years old again, sitting on the cold floor of his family's old repair garage. His father knelt beside him, guiding his hands as they fixed a broken music player. Don't throw things away, Eli, his father said. If it's broken, it deserves a chance to work again. The scene dissolved. Now Eli was 16, handing a repaired oxygen mask to a miner who couldn't afford a new one. Why didn't you charge me? The miner asked. You needed it more than I needed credits, young Eli replied. Another shift. Eli in his first job on a scrapyard station. His friends relaxing after work while he stayed late fixing worn-out heater coils so the younger workers wouldn't freeze at night. Another flash. Eli alone in the Pathfinder engine bay, quietly repairing a coolant line someone else damaged but refused to admit. He covered for them without saying a word. Then the memories darkened. Eli standing in an empty bunk room, feeling small and useless because people praised pilots, officers, explorers, but never mechanics. Eli staring at his hands, wondering if anyone in the galaxy would ever see worth in someone who fixed things instead of breaking them. Eli fearing that one day, something would break that he couldn't save. The vision shifted again. This time, Eli saw Princess Arya watching him work on the drone. Her expression wasn't pity. It wasn't curiosity. It was recognition, as if she saw a part of herself in him. Then the chamber released its hold. The crown lifted. The silver room returned. Eli realized Arya stood very close, eyes wet with tears. Why are you crying? He asked, confused. Because your heart is gentle, she whispered, and still brave. She touched her chest. Many powerful beings cannot say the same. The High Regent and Empress entered quietly. They had seen everything. The Regent bowed his head slightly. Human Eli Ward, you carry humility, fear, kindness, and determination. You do not pretend to be more than you are. That makes you more than most. The Empress added softly, you have passed the trial of truth. Eli released a breath he didn't know he had been holding. Then Commander Varen stepped from the shadows. His eyes were cold, his voice sharper than steel. Trials or not, he growled, I do not accept this outcome. Eli tensed. Varen pointed at him like accusing a criminal. You want to stand beside the princess? Then prove you can protect her. I challenge you to combat. One-on-one. Eli's heart dropped straight to his feet. A combat trial. Against a towering, battle-forged Lemurian commander. Arya stepped between them. Varen, stop. This is not required. He ignored her. He must face me, or he will never be accepted. Eli felt every drop of color drain from his face. He was a mechanic, not a fighter, not a soldier. But when Arya turned to him, fear in her eyes, something inside him shifted. Something steady, something stubborn. I don't want to fight, Eli said. Varen smirked. Because you would lose. Eli looked him straight in the eye. No, because I fix things. I don't break them. Then he added, voice steady. But if protecting Arya means standing against you, I'll do it. The chamber froze in silence. The third trial had ended. But Eli's real danger was just beginning. Eli didn't even have time to worry about Commander Varen's challenge. The ship alarms began screaming. Red light poured through the crystal halls. Lemurians ran to stations. The entire crown of dawn trembled like something enormous had grabbed it. Princess Arya pulled Eli toward the nearest control panel. Something is entering our space. What now? Eli gasped. A hologram flared to life. A star map filled with dark shapes moving like a storm front. Each shape was a massive construct, jagged and silent, eating starlight around them. The High Regent's voice boomed over the ship-wide channel. The Null Swarm has awakened. All defensive units stand ready. This is not a training alert. Eli stared at the hologram, confused. What is the Null? Arya's face dropped with fear he had never seen on her before. They are ancient machines, she said. Older than any empire. They were builders once. Now they consume everything. Commander Varen stepped beside them, armor glowing. We fight. We hold the line until the human fleet arrives. That won't be enough, Arya whispered. Eli watched the hologram again, eyes narrowing. Their movement wasn't random. It was patterned, too patterned. Are they alive? He asked. No, Arya said. They follow corrupted programming. They tear apart planets and moons to feed their cores. Eli squinted at the shift in formations. Then why do they move like a maintenance cycle? Varen glared at him. This is not a broken vent, human. But Eli ignored him. He stepped closer to the hologram. The swarm moved in predictable loops, like a machine stuck in an endless job it didn't understand. How many humans have fought them? Eli asked. Millions died, Arya said. Your worlds barely survived the last incursion. Eli frowned. How many people try to talk to them? Silence fell. Talk to them. Varen repeated, almost offended. They have no language. No mercy. But they respond to energy patterns, right? Eli pressed. Error codes, signals, anything? Arya blinked. Yes. When they malfunction, they create diagnostic pulses no one has ever understood. Eli's mind sparked. They're not monsters. They're lost. The Regent appeared through a projected window of light. Explain. Eli pointed at the repeating cluster formations. They're following instructions that don't exist anymore. They're stuck in a loop. They think they're doing their job. What job? The Empress asked. Construction, Eli breathed. They were meant to build. They're trying to gather material, but the original system collapsed thousands of years ago. Now everything looks like raw material. The hall went silent. Arya stared at him, realization spreading over her face. You believe they can be redirected? Not from here, Eli said. I need to get close. Inside one of them. Varen stepped forward, furious. That is suicide. Maybe, Eli said honestly. But better than letting them eat both our species. The High Regent considered him for several long seconds. Then he spoke. If the human is willing, we will construct a hybrid vessel. Lemurian shielding. Human adaptability. Arya grabbed Eli's hand. You cannot do this alone. He met her eyes. I don't want to. Varen growled. And what of the combat challenge, human? Do you run from that too? Eli turned to him. If I live through this, we'll talk. Varen didn't smile, but for the first time, he looked almost impressed. Hours later, Eli and Arya boarded the hybrid craft. It was small, sleek, half-glowing crystal and half-reinforced human plating. It felt like the two civilizations merged into one heartbeat. Eli strapped in, palms sweaty. Ready? No, Arya said. Then she added softly, but I trust you. The small craft launched. Ahead of them, the Null Swarm filled space like a moving black ocean. Thousands of machines rotating, shifting, carving apart asteroids with cold precision. One massive core unit broke from the swarm, facing their tiny craft. Arya whispered, It has locked onto us. Eli swallowed hard. Then let's knock. He activated a signal built from human distress beacons and Lemurian pulse logic. A simple message. Fault detected, requesting repair channel. The swarm paused. The giant machine halted its weapons. Its colossal form rotated slowly, scanning them with a beam of soft white light. Arya gasped. It accepted. The massive construct opened, revealing a dim internal dock. It was inviting them inside. Eli let out a shaky breath. Okay, he whispered. Let's fix the universe. The hybrid craft drifted into the heart of the null machine. Inside was darkness, pure, ancient, mechanical darkness. No lights, no markings, just the deep hum of a wounded giant. Eli and Princess Arya stepped out in their suits. Their boots echoed on metal older than both their civilizations combined. Strange patterns pulsed on the walls, glitches, corrupted symbols, broken codes repeating endlessly. Arya whispered, "It feels like walking in a dead star." Eli placed his hand on the nearest panel. It vibrated softly, like a sick heartbeat. "It's trying to work," he said quietly. "It just doesn't know how anymore." Far ahead, a white-blue glow flickered. They followed it until they reached the central core chamber, a vast circular room filled with towering crystal conduits. Some glowed weakly. Others sparked violently, overloading themselves. A thick cluster of dark, burnt-out crystals sat jammed inside the main processor. Arya scanned it. These don't belong here. Someone changed them long ago. Someone wanted these machines to destroy. Eli nodded, and the machine obeyed, because that's all it knows. He opened his toolkit. Arya stared at him. "You plan to fix the most dangerous machine ever built with those tiny tools?" Eli smiled nervously. "Tiny tools for simple problems." Then added, "Machines aren't good or evil. They just follow instructions. So, let's give them better ones." He began working. Every loose crystal he removed caused a deep rumble through the chamber. Every reconnection of glowing conduits made the room brighten. Arya fed new command signals into the processor, guiding Eli where energy flowed too wildly. Minutes stretched into hours. The darkness fought back, sparks, tremors, error pulses, but Eli didn't stop. He whispered to the machine like he did with old engines. "It's okay. I'm not here to break you. I'm here to help." One final crystal clicked into place. A deep silence fell. Then, a strong, pure golden light filled the chamber. A voice echoed through the room. Soft, calm, ancient. Primary function restored. "Thank you, Builder." Arya gasped. "It speaks." The machine continued. "We were made to seed new worlds. Our instructions were corrupted. We regret the destruction." Initiating restoration protocol across all units. Outside, through the thin-view window of the hybrid craft, they saw the impossible. The entire null swarm shifted. Black metal turning silver, weapons folding away, beams of gentle light spreading outward like sunrise after 1,000 years of night. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as the monsters became creators again. Hours later, the Lemurian flagship and the human fleet celebrated with tears, cheers, and disbelief. There was no battle, no destruction, no war, only repair, only hope. High Regent Kale addressed the combined crews. The human Eli Ward did not defeat the swarm. He healed it, and by healing it, he saved us all. Eli felt his face burn red. He wanted to hide behind a crate. Princess Arya didn't let him. She pulled him forward, right to the center of the hall. The regent spoke loudly. "The trials of confluence are complete. Eli Ward, do you willingly accept the bond with my daughter?" Eli heard his heartbeat louder than the entire crowd. He looked at Arya. She smiled softly. No grand light, no royal posture. Just a quiet, honest smile from someone who believed in him before he ever believed in himself. "I accept," Eli said. Arya placed her hand over his heart. "And I accept you." Light blossomed around them, soft, warm, like dawn through clouds. Commander Varen stepped forward, armored and solemn. Eli braced for trouble. Instead, Varen bowed. "You fixed the swarm," he said. "The challenge stands, but not as enemies. As equals." Eli grinned. "Maybe we can start with something easier. Like who can repair a broken panel faster." Varen actually smiled. Years later, a new station floated between human and Lemurian space, built by both races and by the restored builders. On the observation deck, Eli and Arya watched their two young children run around, laughing as a small drone malfunctioned and spun in circles. Eli crouched down, opened the drone, and let his oldest hand him tools. Easy, he said. Machines panic when they're confused. Treat them like friends. Behind him, Arya smiled with warm pride. Some things never change. Eli fixed the drone with a quick click. It hovered smoothly again. Outside the window, a builder machine shaped a broken asteroid into a shining habitat ring, making life where there had once been destruction. The universe felt brighter, because a human mechanic from a small ship believed one simple truth. Anything broken can be repaired, even ancient machines, even old wounds, even the future itself.